Hello guys, Hippo here again to brag about my Unity crap. So let's just press play here and see what I have for you today. So what this does, this generates random town kind of environment, and you can walk around and you have a flashlight, oh my god, and you also have a compass and frame per second counter. This is all very amazing, not really. And each time we reload the scene, we get a new map, because the map is random. And that was the main point of doing this, to figure out how random stuff works in Unity. We can change some parameters, so we can change the dimensions of the map, and we can change the number of tiles. So the map is bigger now, but it's still randomly generated each time. There is also an option for random seed. If this field is not empty, this seed is saved, and each time you get the same map as you reload. And just to make sure it's not some trick, let's try that again. Let's restart the game. Random seed, start, and it's the same map again. Also, some music should be playing as well. Some slightly eerie music that fits this environment, I guess. That's not much of an environment, but whatever. But I disabled it for now because YouTube and music just doesn't go very well together. Let's have a look at the scripts now. They are not pretty at all, because this is the first thing that I did on my own. This script is not very complicated, but it's pretty important. So I have this music box object in the menu scene, and originally it was just for playing music, so music would loop without resetting each time I reload the scene with the map. But I am also using it for saving some values, such as map dimensions and the number of tiles and random seed state. And this is the important part: don't destroy on load. So this object does not get destroyed when another scene loads. And it has a bunch of public functions to set up these values. These are the scripts for buttons on the menu screen. This is pretty simple. We just read the input fields and we parse them, and we also check for sensible values, because in some cases my generation would completely break if there would be some bullshit written in these input fields. So if numbers in these fields are bad, I just reset them to something. This is the script for moving the player. It's also very simple here. No character controller. And this is also where I calculate the frame per second rate. I'm not sure it works correctly. I'm not sure this is the right way to do this, but this definitely has some correlation to frame per second rate. And since I don't want to update the FPS text every frame, I have a coroutine here that does that every second. Let's actually check the FPS counter. I'm gonna need more tiles for this. 99 is the biggest number you can have here. Yeah, let's see. I guess let's move to the end of this street and then check. Yeah, definitely FPS is higher when you look this way compared to when you look this way. And if you switch the view, it's even lower. That's because I didn't do any optimization for graphics here. Like no loads, no nothing, no like view distance. So FPS counter kind of works, but I'm not sure it's very accurate. And yeah, that's the script for the player. This is the script for the buttons on the game screen. Button to reload the scene, button to exit the game, and button to switch the camera. And camera switching is kinda stupid because I was too lazy to write proper camera switching. So sometimes camera is not where it's supposed to be if you switch the view after moving around for a little while. But I don't really care for that. I just needed some way to look at the town from above so I could evaluate how randomly it is generated. And this is the actual main part of this, the random generation script, and it is like long and ugly, so I'm not gonna talk about it in detail. Just gonna explain the idea. So we have a two-dimensional array of Boolean values, and this is what I use for generating the map. True means there is a tile and false means there is no tiles. Also, there should be a list of coordinates, which is here. And I need this list to save the coordinates of some tiles, so when I'm spawning a new tile I don't have to check for the entire array, so I only check a specific selection of tiles that I'm interested in. So the first thing that happens, I place a tile in the very middle of the map, and I add this tile to the list of tile coordinates. And from that point I have a cycle that runs as many times as I need tiles on my map. And what it does, it selects a tile from the list, then it checks empty spaces around that tile, and it spawns a new tile if there are some available empty spaces, and one of those empty spaces is chosen randomly. If there are no empty spaces around that tile that I'm checking, I remove it from the list of tile coordinates, and I pick another tile from that list and check it again. New tile is also added to the list, and that's basically the idea behind that. Obviously this setup doesn't really allow to store the type of tile that I'm spawning, so I check the tile type when I actually spawn them in the scene. So each tile has 4 adjacent spaces, and they can be empty or occupied. So this is 2 in the power of 4, 16 variants. And I couldn't figure out how to check this better, so I just wrote really stupid 16 if-else statements to check what kind of tile I need to spawn and at which rotation I need to spawn it. This is really stupid, but I don't know any better way to do this, and it works, so whatever, who cares. And then I just spawn the tile here. This code does not care for the creation of buildings. Separate script does that, and it is this simple. Basically, each tile has a number of locations and number of house types, and this basically just spawns a random house at each location specified for the tile, and this script is attached to each tile, and you can kinda see how that works in the menu screen. You see, before we start the game, everything is empty here. When we press play, there are houses suddenly, and these houses are random. It's not super obvious, but if you pay attention, you can see that you get new houses each time you press play. And the final script is for the compass, and it is really simple because it just resets the arrow rotation each frame, and that makes it point to the north each time, all the time rather. So yep, I guess that's that, and I've run out of things that I have already done in Unity, so I will have to do something new from now on in order to show you, and that's good, I guess. So yeah, this is all for now. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.